offices are closed. By the time you get there the following morning, it's already at the DPC level. So we have those who build watching when government is at work, not building at that time, and then they construct. The last collapse we had in Lagos Island, the general manager of the building control agency was on that street particularly, and was trying to evacuate people from buildings that were distressed. All she got on that day was booing and jeering. After she left, the very building in front of which she parked was the one that came down. So we are also monitoring some of these things, and we are asking people to move out. We've had cases where we have shut down buildings, and then in the night we have people break into them. That's why we occasionally seek the help of the police to forcefully eject them, as it were, so that we may save their lives and let them not die in those buildings.
We're taking a break now. When News Track returns, Iran has a lot on its plate, from human rights abuse to a nuclear program, and we'll be getting more about that on the foreign scene.
We'll also be bringing you highlights of the match between France and Ukraine and telling you how France qualified for the World Cup.
Join us again.
You see, life has just got easier. You stay connected to Channels TV, where news and innovations are shaping our world. Simply log on to channelstv.com to get the breaking news. Browse the homepage according to what matters to you. Tap on the extended coverage of business, sports, politics, lifestyle, infotech, entertainment, health, world news, and lots more. Click on the live link and see the news in real time. Do you want to watch the latest video of the day? It's just a click away. Friend us on Facebook, YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Google+, participate in Channels TV poll, and share your comments. It's a website you can talk to. Your voice will be heard. ChannelsTV.com. The news at your fingertips.
We're talking business now. The president is in London today to preside over a 3-day meeting of the Nigeria's Honorary International Investors Council.
That's right, and some of the issues on the plate include generating long-term affordable finance for Nigeria's real sector, developing Nigeria's private equity and venture capital sectors in order to attract more foreign investment, as well as drawing up a master plan for Nigeria's information and communications technology sector. The meeting will also feature a review of Nigeria's existing investment policies by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And the CBN's Monetary Policy Committee has retained the benchmark interest rate at 12%. At a meeting in Abuja, the Central Bank Governor, Lamido Sanusi, listed the decline in the nation's inflation rate and the positive impact of the monetary policy on the exchange rate as some of the reasons for leaving the lending rate at 12%.
The committee formally adopted an inflation target of 6 to 9% in 2014. It also noted that ECOWAS heads of state have set a 5% target at the Convergence Council. The NPC reaffirmed its commitment to moving Nigeria firmly into being a low inflation environment in the medium term. However, the NPC recognizes the high cost of rapid adjustment and plans to make the transition gradually. Decision. Having considered the success of monetary policy in attaining price and exchange rate stability, the potential headwinds in 2014, the ultimate goal of transiting to a truly low inflation environment, and the need to retain portfolio flows and attract them in view of the erosion of fiscal reserve buffers, the committee decided as follows. 1. 9 members voted to keep MPR at 12% plus or minus 2%, private sector CRR at 12%, public sector CRR at 50%, and liquidity ratio at 30%.
That was the CBN Governor, Lamido Sanusi, talking about the interest rate, which remains at 12%. Now from Abuja, we move over to Ogun State, where Governor Ibukun Amusu has presented a budget of 210.21 billion naira for the 2014 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. The governor says the capital expenditure will remain at 117.5 billion naira, which represents 55.90%.
It was a gathering of not just members of the House of Assembly, as some members of the business community and traditional rulers were in attendance. The budget presented, according to the governor, is geared towards the 5 cardinal program of the state.
The breakdown of the budget by the 5 cardinal program in respect of our 5 cardinal program is as follows. Under education will take 43.9, almost 44 billion, which represents 20.93 of the total budget. The health sector will take 21.11 billion, representing 10.04%. Agriculture that will lead us to industrialization will take 10.52, which is about 5.1%.
The governor hopes to use the next year's budget to make some developmental changes in the state.
I have under available housing and environment 26.74, which is about 12.72%. Rural and infrastructure development, it's about 34.66, which is about 16.49%. Totaling 65.19%, which all other ministries that is outside the 5 cardinal program will account for 73.19 billion, representing 34.89.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly promised the readiness of the House to give the necessary legal instruments to the successful implementation of the budget.
This legislation will give the necessary attention to the year 2014 appropriation bill just presented to the House and ensure its passage within the shortest possible time.
The budget proposed is expected to be financed majorly from federal allocations and internally generated revenue.
Well, looking at stories in the international scene now, barely 24 hours since the fatal building collapse occurred in South Africa, rescue efforts have been briefly suspended. This is, however, a temporary decision as the search for the survivors will resume after some of the concrete blocks have been cleared.
And 1 person was killed and at least 40 others, mainly construction workers, are trapped in the rubble at the site in Tongat, which is north of Durban. Thankfully, about 30 people have been rescued, some with traumatic injuries. The site in which the building collapsed occurred was a half-built mall.
Well, in North Africa, at least 10 Egyptian soldiers are said to have lost their lives and several more injured in a bomb blast near the North Sinai city of Al Arish. Reports say a convoy of buses carrying soldiers was hit by a roadside bomb as it moved through the Karoba area. There's been a spate of attacks on the military since Islamist President Mohamed Morsi was ousted in July.
And the dust is yet to settle over Iran's nuclear program, but President Barack Obama has urged U.S. senators to stand down and not propose any more sanctions. He insists that the U.S. needs to give the UN time to reach a deal with Iran. A White House spokesman warned that if a deal with Tehran was not agreed soon, Iran would continue to increase its stockpile. A UN envoy will negotiate with Iran in Geneva today, and Iran's foreign minister says he believes the issues will be resolved soon. And it's time to talk some sports. Each winner in the men and women's categories of the 2013 Ashojoba table tennis competition will be going home with a brand new car.
Now, this was confirmed by organizers at a press conference in Lagos. According to the sponsor of the tournament, Molade Okoya Thomas, with the introduction of the para table tennis event, this year's edition will be different. Our sports correspondent Austin Okonakwan reports.
These are not the regular faces you see at a sports gathering, but they're here today to honor the longest playing tournament in Nigeria. the Ashojuoba Table Tennis Championship. This is the